Here's my method for determining the height of the dome and the depth of the platform of our world. I can't yet determine the horizontal plane, but for the vertical plane, we have the answer. All we have to do is examine the global records that humans have set, obviously ignoring the lies that humans have also perpetrated. It appears that the number 12 rules our world. What are the maximum depths reached by man? According to Wikipedia, the maximum depths known and never reached by man are on Earth. The deepest borehole drilled by man is about 12 kilometers deep. The SG3 borehole. In the sea, the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest known, is at 11,521 kilometers, according to the onboard instruments of the divers who are supposedly going there. So 12 kilometers. The highest known altitudes never crossed by man are the world record at 112.014 km on 4 October in 2004, set by Brian Binney with Spaceship One. So 112 kilometers. NASA models of Earth's atmosphere say 120 to 1000 kilometers. Does the atmosphere begin or end at 120 kilometers? In any case, it's 120 kilometers. The amateur rocket Go Fast was the highest, hit the dome at 72 miles. So 116 kilometers. We can therefore say that our world is between 12 kilometers deep and 120 kilometers high. The creation gives us the number 12 as a reference, 12 kilometers deep and 120 kilometers high, so 12 multiplied by 10. I looked up a few references to the number 12. 12 is a compound number, its factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. We notice that 5 is missing, don't we? The 5 is the star, hence the sun. In numerology, the number 12 is associated with completeness and divine order. There are the 12 signs of the zodiac. The traditional measure is a dozen, representing 12 units. 12 months of the year. 12 hours on a clock. Christianity with the 12 apostles. Judaism with the 12 tribes of Israel. The gods of Olympus in Greek mythology were 12. In Islam, there are the 12 Imams and Shiism. The 12 days of Christmas for Christians. The 12 labors of Hercules. Our 2 brains, the brain surrounded by 12 nerves and the intestine surrounded by 12 ribs. 12 cycles of the moon in a year. In numerology, depth of 12 kilometers bottom. Altitude 120 kilometers top. 12 multiplied 10 equals 120. So there's 10 as a multiplier. 1 plus 0 equals unity plus infinity. 12 decomposed gives 1 plus 2 equals 3. Which gives the sequence of 1, 2, 3. 3 equals the Trinity, so the sky, the surface, and the subsoil. We live in a world divided, spatially and temporally, by the number 12. From a physical point of view, with a depth of 12 kilometers and a height of 120 kilometers. From a temporal point of view, with a 24-hour day which is equal to 2x 12 hours, punctuated by the sun's cycle. The 12-moon cycle of a year, characterized by the passage of the 12 signs of the zodiac. The 12 and space and time. 12 for spatiality is 1 plus 2 equals 3. Gives us the 3 spatial dimensions. X, Y, and Z. 12 for temporality is 1 plus 2 equals 3. gives us the three temporalities: past, present, future. I think the amateur rocket go fast is the most accurate measurement. I noticed that the depths recorded, but even more so, the launch of the amateur go fast rocket are in meters, quite close or clearly the golden number, which is 1.618. The golden number is 1.618, and if we add 1 before it, we obtain a depth of 11.618 kilometers and an altitude of 116.18 kilometers. Which makes me think that creation is perfect and based on the golden ratio. That the dome is at an altitude of 116.18 kilometers and that the depth of the plateau is 11.68 kilometers. Could we determine the periphery of the world with this? If I take as the first radius of the golden spiral the depth also based on the golden ratio, so a depth of 11.618 kilometers. This gives first radius 11.618 kilometers, second radius 18,785 kilometers, third radius 30,457 kilometers, fourth radius 49,247 kilometers, fifth radius 79,827 kilometers, sixth radius 129,203 kilometers, seventh radius 209,114 kilometers, eighth radius 338,341 kilometers, ninth radius 547,185 kilometers, 10th radius 884,520 kilometers. The height of the dome is more or less the same. At the end of radius 6, at the intersection of radius 7, at 129.203 kilometers. From a geometric point of view, we can see on the spiral that this point corresponds to the opposite radius 1. This also refers us to the number 7 at the same time. It makes me think of the 7 heavens and the 7 firmaments. What's above is like what's below. And I suppose that the circumference of our world must correspond either to the end of ray 8 at the intersection with ray 9 at 338,341 kilometers, or at 547.185 kilometers with radius 9, which is oriented like radius 1. I think the escape measure is 11.618 kilometers deep and 116.18 kilometers high, corresponding to the unit meter and the golden ratio. Voila! Thank you for your attention.